All right, what is going on, Aquarius? Welcome or welcome back to the channel, Elevated Spirits. It's Jazi, your favorite Cali reader. I hope y'all are doing well. This is going to be your new moon in Gemini / Taurus reading. We're going to see what you guys can look forward to that you may not be expecting for this new moon. So it is in Gemini if you follow Western astrology. However, if you follow Vedic, it is in Taurus. All right, so please take the messages that apply, place them where they fit, and the rest leave for someone else. Leave for whoever they're meant for. All right. So looking at the bottoms of the decks that I've used for you guys, it feels like this period, and also, mind you, I also wanted to, for those, obviously that didn't know or forgot, that could definitely play into the messages that come out today as well. Saturn did go retrograde on June 29th, okay, which was like maybe 3 days ago now. As I'm recording this on the 1st of July. So happy new month, happy July, month of the 7, very spiritual number. So Saturn did go retrograde on the 29th, and it's going to stay retrograde till November 15th. That is when it goes direct. So it's going to be still retrograde during the 11/11 portal, okay? Obviously, as well as the 8/8 portal. So we have 2 portals that are taking place when as Saturn is still retrograde. All right, so something to keep in mind, something to maybe do your own research on to see how that may affect your everyday, day-to-day life. Okay, we don't want to give it all that, give all your power to it, but it's just something to kind of like take a mental note on, have in the back of your mind, so as things play out, you can be like, oh, okay, maybe that's what happened, blah, blah, kind of help you put pieces together to help you navigate, life going forward. All right, see how you can use the energies to support your journey. So we have release your blocks, happy family, allow, solar light upgrade, dedication, hot air balloon, labor, and breathe. So what this feels like, Aquarius, is this is, unseen energy. It's at the bottoms of the deck. So this is stuff that I feel like some of you aren't even aware of, but it feels like this new moon is really asking you guys to, like to really get clear about what you want, right? Like, what do you want your life to look like in the next, let's say, month, in the next 30 days, in the next 3 months, 6 months, 2 years, 5 years, allow yourself to really get a clear image of what that looks like and really dedicate yourself. I feel like some of you have maybe been kind of like, oh, I want that. It sounds good. It's nice. But, it's always like a but it'll take too long. But I don't really believe it'll happen. But I'm not worthy of it. But you know what I'm saying? So it feels like some of you are really being asked at this time to really take a step back, take a breath, and really get clear about what it is that you want. As well as identify the limiting beliefs that some of you may have surrounding what is possible, okay? Because I feel like for some of you, it's not that you're not worthy of having the things you want, but some of your old limitations, limiting beliefs that some of you have carried on, maybe from experiences, from the past, childhood, whatever, as well as limiting beliefs that you've taken on from your ancestors or from previous generations in your bloodline is creating blockages towards what you're asking for. So it's not that you can't have it. It's not that the universe isn't trying to give it to you, but energetically speaking, if you have roadblocks that are creating barriers surrounding those things coming into your experience, that's why you haven't experienced them yet. So it really feels like you're being asked to really dedicate yourself, put it out there, ask for what it is that you want and amplify it, amp it up. You know what I'm saying? 333 on the timer, to really, it's kind of like a go big or go home type of energy. Don't downplay or, kind of like discredit the universe and what's possible. It's like the universe can do miracles bigger and way better than, we can even imagine. You know what I'm saying? Like, align us to those things, to those experiences, but it's all a matter of what you believe is possible for you. So it feels like some of you are really, like I said, being asked to, really decide on what that is for you and allow yourself to really take down these walls that some of you have placed in your life that's maybe keeping it, from you. Allow yourself to really dedicate, your time, energy, and effort towards these things as long as it feels good to you, as long as it feels in alignment, put in the effort towards those things. It's not that you have to work hard as we've been taught. That's a masculine thing. You don't have to work hard for things, but it may feel or appear hard when you're having to be consistent, when you're having to, implement discipline, right? Those things can feel hard because it's like when you want to rest and you know that there's things to be done, that can appear or feel hard, but it's really not. It's just a matter of how you choose to see it. So it feels like you're really being asked to allow yourself to evolve, allow yourself to ascend, you know, to kind of free yourself from whatever blockages, because it feels like some of you are manifesting a, you know, happy family, some type of stability, maybe a new relationship, you know, whatever that looks like for you. It could just be a new home, some type of good news, something to celebrate. Okay, and this is giving me Four of Wands type of energy here. Even though this is an oracle deck, it's reminding me of the Four of Wands. So it feels like just, you know, coming to a way more positive, balanced, and peaceful place in life is definitely on the horizon for you guys. But it's a matter of what you allow into your experience and where you willing to put your willpower or put forth energy and, you know, action towards allowing these things in. Okay, it's not always a physical or you know, it doesn't always involve manual labor. Okay, a lot of it is also just energetic and spiritual as well, meaning unseen, you know, unseen work, right? Sometimes it's a matter of visualizing, sometimes it's a matter of, you know, releasing the limitations, the limiting beliefs about what is possible. Like a lot of those things, like I've had to tell myself what really helped me a lot, that I feel like might help you. This may be a concept that some of you haven't yet considered, and some of you just needed a reminder of. 555 on the timer, is that when I quit my 9-to-5 and I started working for myself and started doing my, you know, diving deep into my own spiritual journey, but also doing my best to be supportive and a point of reference for others on their spiritual journey as well. And as you know, doing this work and using all the modes of healing and modalities that I use and involve in my consultations to support others on their spiritual journey. You know, it's like people would judge, you know, like, what do you do? You know, what do you do now? Like even family would ask me, you know, so where do you work? I don't. I work for myself, you know, and it would throw them, because it would be like, the fuck? You know, it's like they were on two different frequencies, right? We're vibrating in two different places, two different planes of existence, I should say. And so what came to me though, like what Spirit gave me with that though, is it's not that I don't work, right? People assume that when you say that you work, that work means going to a 9-to-5. It means that you have an external employer, you know, like the divine doesn't count, right? And so what I had to learn and accept that is my work just looks different. My work is internal. My work is energetic. My work is spiritual. My work is on the unseen realms. My work involves, you know, grounding. It involves meditating. It involves, you know, being present. It involves consistency in those things. It involves spiritual baths and cleansing my energy and you know, healing myself through my own Reiki, right? It involves the tinctures that I make, the herbs and things that I combine to heal myself from the inside out. That is my work, right? So my work is just as much as important as someone else's 9-to-5. It just looks different. And so for some of you, that's something to consider as well, that just because your work may look different doesn't mean it's less valuable. It doesn't mean that it holds less weight, or it's not as important, or it's not as valid, right, as other people might deem it to be, just because it looks different than what society has taught us, or, you know, deemed as, you know, work, right? So I feel like that, you know, may help some of you. So let's get into your messages, see what's going on, what you guys can look forward to that you may not be expecting for this new moon in Gemini or Taurus. All right, so full moon in Gemini, embrace the flow of life. Okay, so wherever you're feeling like, you know, things aren't flowing, or things like you're feeling stuck, for some of you, if it feels like I'm trying to do this thing and it's not working, for some of you, that's why you're maybe doing too much. Okay. And I know that, you know, the world, and like I said, societal norms has taught us that, well, if you're not doing something, you know, things aren't going to happen. That's not true. That requires balance. The masculine energy is the one that takes action, but for you to receive the fruits of your labor, you need to be in your feminine energy. And that's non-action oriented. That's resting. That's receptive. That's intuitive. That's creative. Okay. So I feel like some of you, if you feel like you're putting in so much energy and effort, or really just kind of like putting in your efforting, right? Some of you maybe what I think is Abraham Hicks calls efforting. Some of you are maybe too much in your masculine energy. And at this time, you're really being asked to step more into your feminine energy. Okay. Because that is what the flow is. The flow is feminine energy. That's, you know, the water, the fluidity, going, you know, with the stream and not fighting the rocks, so to speak. And that means that if you look at a stream and there's a bunch of rocks in it, the stream doesn't, you know, keep running up against the rocks trying to get the rocks to move. What it does, it just flows around it. It just like, oh, okay, yep, another obstacle. Oh, okay. And it just flows and finds its way around it. It doesn't stop itself and tries to move the rocks. It just learns to flow around it. So some of you Aquarius are being asked to do that at this time as well. So we have Woman Holding a Heart, card 44, okay? So some of you, like I said, maybe coming into some type of love, some meeting somebody new, okay, or just kind of like coming into this place of, you know, just wanting to be more in your feminine energy, being more receptive, being more loving, nurturing, caring, and as well as receiving that for yourself. Okay, so we have earth, grounding. Okay, so that's also about, you know, fertile energies, having a place to call home. Some of you are coming into maybe purchasing a new home. You may be finding yourself moving during this new moon, where you're like landing, kind of like some of you maybe also, what I'm getting is buying land. Okay, but what this also feels like is fertile grounds. Okay, some of you are coming into this new moon is positioning you to have, you know, be able to, giving you like what you need to create a new solid foundation for yourself, or have the environment to grow something, whether it's obviously physical seeds, right, to start your own garden. That's what I'm you know, trying to do. But seeds of intention, things that you want to manifest in your life, new experiences, new opportunities, you know, whatever that might look like for you. It's like spirit is trying to get you to go with the flow and be open and receptive to the opportunities that is going to kind of clear the way for you to plant these new seeds, because that's what the new moon is about, is planting seeds. And that's what it feels like this energy is here, is kind of presenting you the opportunity, Aquarius, to really step into that, to really get clear, 1111 on the timer, to get clear about what it is that you want, and then provide you and support you at least in providing you that clean, fresh new start, that clean slate to actually, you know, plant these seeds, water them and nurture them so you can watch them grow and reap the harvest from them at the right time. Okay, so we have what's being activated for you is ancestral realm, karmic release, healing the lineage, boundaries. All right. Whew. This is a deep card because this is also, you know, a portal energy here. So some of you, the 1111 portal is going to be very important. It feels like some of you are definitely at this time working through karmic, like releasing karmic energy, paying karmic debts, things that, like I said earlier, some of you have taken on from your bloodline, from your lineage, from your ancestors. It's like that is clearing for you guys right now. And it feels like where you're being asked to have boundaries is some of you may find yourself creating new boundaries because you finally learned what you were supposed to learn from situations. You're now, it's going to kind of force you to be like, okay, now I know where I need to set boundaries with myself or other people. Now I know where I need to not give so much, or not, you know, take on so much energy, or, you know, those are boundaries, right? So what I'm going to say is, though, is that also this also came up in Capricorn's reading that I just recorded before yours. So if you have Capricorn placements, or you know, are dealing with one, you may want to watch that reading as well. But that also came up with this, what I'm about to say about this boundaries thing is when you're in the process of cutting energetic cords and ties to people, to entities, you know, whatever that is, clearing these karmic debts, it puts you in a very vulnerable state when you're healing, right? And so what I mean by that is when you're making these changes, cutting these cords, clearing these karmic debts and energies, whether it's in also clearing karmic connections by letting people go that you know were only there to teach you something, right? That it puts you in a very vulnerable state. So it's really going to be really important as you guys are, if it, you know, this applies, is those of you that are healing these things and, you know, releasing these beliefs or limitations that you've taken on from your bloodline. It's important for you to also shield yourself by setting boundaries, meaning that if you're normally one that drinks alcohol, but you're trying to stop drinking because you know that's maybe something from your bloodline, if that's something that you know is kind of repetitive cycle that your bloodline has experienced alcoholism, it's going to be important for you to put things in place for you to not go back to that, because that lowers your vibration. It makes you then susceptible to these lower vibrational energies or entities that you're trying to get rid of. It will call them back in, because as you cut these energetic supplies and these cords, it's like it stops the flow, and they're like, it's like going to make them, they're going to feel that, right? They're going to feel the detachment. They're going to feel the flow of energy being either slowed down or completely cut off. And it's going to make them then go back to find out why. It's going to make them, you know, draw those energies or those entities back to find out, well, what happened, where, you know, and they're going to want to reestablish that connection, right? So it's the same thing as if, like I was telling Capricorn, that if you plug in, let's say, a device, right? And you're using, like, let's say, a power drill, you plug it in one room and you are using it in another room. If someone walks by or trips over it or just unplugs it because they didn't know you're using it, it's going to stop whatever you're doing with it, right? that power, that energy flow that's going from the power source of where it's plugged in at to where it's being used. When that source of energy is cut off, it's going to either stop, slow down what you're doing, where it's going to start moving really slow and you're going to be like, what the hell? Or it's going to cut it off completely. And either way, it's going to make you want to go back to the source to figure out, well, I was just using it was fine. What happened? Right? So that's the same thing when you're, doing these healings, working through these karmic, karmic debts and, frequencies and all those things. As you're healing and releasing, you're going to want to really, amp up your energetic and spiritual protection. Okay. There are different ways that you can go about doing this, and some of them can be really simple, and some of them can be more complex. That's going to be individual to each of you. That this is not that, video for, me explaining how to do those things, but, please do your own research on what resonates with you. For others of you, if you already have protection practices in place or shielding practices in place, this is your time to amplify them, to, really boost them up, make them stronger. You know what I'm saying? For those of you that have kind of fallen off on those things, this is the time to pick them back up and, really put those boundaries in place. That is also what Saturn is responsible for, is boundaries. Okay, so where are you creating boundaries with yourself and others? This is when Saturn is retrograde. This is a period of review to see how you've been doing. Have you learned, from what you were supposed to learn from before? This is the planet of structure, the planet of order, the planet of discipline, the planet of karma. Okay, so this is that review period of kind of like an annual review at work, right? To see from the last time we did this review, have you learned, have you started implementing from all the things that we talked about before that you needed to work on? Let's see how you've been doing up until this point. This is what this period is about. So this is kind of like this new moon it feels like giving you guys a fresh new start, a clean slate, right? That is what this is. So this is about really grounding your energy, getting outside, connecting with nature, and making room for what it is that you're asking for, making room for this new fertile ground, this new fertile energy for you to plant new seeds, plant new intentions, and have new experiences ultimately. Okay. So, ooh, child. So we have listen and pay attention. Interesting. So, okay. Listen and pay attention maybe to this reading. For some of you, this is confirming. Maybe this is trying to get your attention. Okay, it feels like this could be Saturn coming through, talking to some of you, saying like, hey, pay attention, listen, we're trying to get your attention, we're trying to help you out, we're trying to let you know what needs to happen right now before it really kicks your ass. Okay, but it's up to you. But I mean, both cards came out back to back, and I only been asking for one, but two came out for you guys. Listen and pay attention, and they're very similar in nature. So listen says you're being asked to listen to your inner voice. It's been guiding you to do something or say something, and it's time to act on its wisdom. All right, so whatever that is for you, however that applies, this is the time to apply what it is that that you're supposed to do, or have a conversation that needs to be had, that you've been putting off, making a decision that you need to make, that you've been putting off, whatever that is for you. This is the time to apply that. Okay, so we have pay attention. You're being asked to pay extra close attention to the signs you're being given, both the subtle ones and the ones that can't be missed. These signs will help you see how to best move forward in order to live your best life. Okay, so it's like I said, the universe is always rooting for us. Even Saturn is as tough as Saturn can love us. That sometimes that tough love be tough as fuck, right? But it's ultimately for our highest and greatest good. So that way, when Saturn is done with us and we've learned all of our lessons, we've closed out our karmic cycles, paid our karmic debts, it then moves us on to Jupiter, which is a planet of expansion, the planet of abundance and elevation and upliftment and all those things. Okay, good luck, good fortune. It's like you have to pay your karmic debts to make room for those new things. And so that's what Saturn is here to see and review. Are you ready to move on to Jupiter? Are you ready for your expansion? Are you ready for your new start? That is this period. Okay, so we have easy does it, and that popped in reverse. Okay, and then we have also crafter that came in reverse. So it's interesting how both those just flipped out in reverse. So and these are financial messages. So slow and steady wins the race. This is not a good time to rush. Pay attention to every detail. Careful to not get involved with any get-rich-quick schemes. So it feels like things that maybe some of you have been kind of like just kind of trying to take your time with. It feels like because that came in reverse, it feels like you're kind of being asked to go. This is the time to take action. And it's not to say to rush things, because it says don't rush. But it's just to say whatever that you've been putting off, or you've been kind of like just like, I'll do it tomorrow, or I'll worry about that tomorrow. I'll do that next week. This is like no more time can be wasted on not moving forward on this thing. That's what I'm getting here with that. So then we have crafter. There's something wonderful just waiting to be expressed with your hands. Consider careers doing homemade items or some kind of craft project. Think of ways to generate money that no other has done or tried, or try something new. So for some of you, this may not be in alignment with you anymore. If this is something you have been considering or have been working towards, or, you know, trying to implement, that may not be, you know, no longer in alignment. But, you know, for some of you, what I'm also getting here with this card being in reverse is some of you may be trying too hard to reinvent the wheel, okay? And you may not need to do that, okay? Some of you may be trying to do something brand new, but just needing to, you know, do something that someone has already shown has success, but just do it in a different way. Some, you know, add something or remove something or switch something, adjust something to make it unique to you. So I feel like some of you may be just kind of overcomplicating things right now. And, you know, I feel like some of you have a really good idea, but because it may seem too simplistic in nature, you're overthinking it, okay? And that's, you know, going to apply differently for all of you, so please take only what applies. But, you know, I just feel like you're really being asked to, you know, not overcomplicate things. Some of you, by overthinking something that could really be so simple, is what's creating blockages. So for some of you, that's what you're being asked to release, with release your blocks, is, you know, overthinking. You know, just kind of like let it flow. Let your creativity, you know, support you at this time, okay? So let's see, for Aquarius, as it pertains to the spread, what else can you look forward to? They need to know that they may not be expecting. All right, so we have the King of Cups. Like I said, we have the Woman Holding Heart, which is kind of like the Queen of Cups in that deck. And then we have the King of Cups. So some of you, this is, you know, ultimately preparing you for a new partner, for a new love, okay? What else? For Aquarius. And that's not going to be obviously for everyone. Some of you are already with someone. So this could also be, you know, simply about, you know, for me, the King of Cups is my unbothered king, meaning that he's the king that, he's master of his emotions. He's mastered his emotions, meaning that even when there's chaos and crazy shit going on around him, he knows how to stay calm. He knows how to breathe. He knows how to, you know, ground himself and be, you know, still act from a place of compassion, you know, without getting emotional. Like he knows when to, you know, put his emotion into something and when to withdraw it, when to, you know, give and when to hold back. So for some of you, that's what you're being asked to do at this time. And they have the Wheel of Fortune that came out. So that's a really beautiful energy as well. This is Jupiter energy. So like I said, it's like some of you, you know, may be kind of like have already positioned yourself to be passed off from Saturn to Jupiter, but because you're kind of like not going with the flow, some of you are kind of like really rigid, it's like that's going to create blockages. So for some of you, that's what you're being asked to really step into this King of Cups energy and just kind of, you know, be more mindful with your emotions, not, you know, making choices and decisions from an emotional place, because emotions are fleeting, right? That's energy in motion. That's what emotions are. So, you know, it's important to accept them when they come up. You know, allow yourself to just, you know, observe them, but not absorb them, not respond to the situation from that place. Okay. Let's see what else for Aquarius as it pertains to this spread. Ten of Wands. So we have two tens here. 10, 10. All right. Let's see what else. So some of you, like I said, it's like it's like things are turning in your favor, but it's giving you more responsibility than maybe you're ready for. Another 10. Holy shit, Aquarius. 3 10s in a fucking row. 10, 10, 10. Are you kidding me? And 2 of the best 10s. Okay, the 10 of Wands. That's subjective. That can go either way, right? Because this can definitely represent something that you need to release, right? Maybe needing to outsource if you're feeling overwhelmed. Some of you, if you can afford to outsource something that's coming in, you know, like whether it's work and you're feeling all of a sudden just overloaded, this is about offloading so you can feel a little bit lighter. But for some of you, this is about, you know, you're so close. This is about, you know, all the things that you've gained to kind of like, it's kind of like the story in the tarot is about, basically having everything you need to build your, you know, your own home, right? This is like kind of like finally getting the land and having all the tools you need to finally build your home on that land or your farm on the land. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, that's what I was saying with the responsibility. So for some of you, this is coming into, you know, some type of money, some type of, you know, something changing suddenly. Things, you know, your luck is taking a turn very quickly, and it's bringing you a lot of abundance. So for some of you, it's like you're being asked to, you know, when this comes in, it may feel overwhelming, but it's not to say that you can't handle it. We just need to, you know, remain grounded and not respond from emotional place. Stay, you know, calm, even if you feel overwhelmed and overloaded. Okay, know that, you know, this is positive. This is very positive, actually. So let's see. So overall outcome message for Aquarius. Two of Cups. Interesting. Three of Pentacles. It flipped in reverse with the Two of Cups. So that's interesting. So it feels like it's like Aquarius. You guys, for those of you, I know everybody isn't single, and the Queen of Cups here is at the bottom. So the Queen of Cups showing up here twice, and the Queen of Cups with the King of Cups. So for some of you, it's like you're coming into, this feels like I'm talking to a group of Aquariuses that are single. Not all of you are. I understand that. So this could be, you know, just coming back to that harmony within yourself. Even if you're, so for those of you that are in a relationship, this feels like coming into harmony back with your own self. While you still have a partner, this is about still coming back into alignment with your own individual feminine and masculine energy to remain, you know, to retain that balance, right? But for others of you, this feels like, for those, some of you, like I said, who have been single, you're attracting, aligning a divine counterpart, okay? Someone that loves you, that cares about you, that's, you know, just as in alignment as you are, okay? And it's like you guys don't, I feel like some of you don't have to do something by yourself anymore. Some of you are like, was like waiting, like kind of like ready to build by yourself. And as soon as you got comfortable, or got, not maybe comfortable, but okay with being like, you know what, I'm good. If I have to be on my own, I'm cool with that. And that's when you allow, okay, a divine counterpart to come in. Now, that's for one group of you. What I'm also getting here, though, on the flip side of this is, some of you Aquariuses, this is a karmic connection that some of you with the King of Cups that you're needing to release. For some of you, that is what you're, because this also represents karma. So for some of you, this could be that you're not expecting, and this feels like that last kind of like what they call boss battle in a video game, right? This is that last little boss battle that some of you have someone that's coming back around, but it's a karmic connection, okay? It's someone that, you know, like you need to release, that you're needing to let go of, that's only here to weigh you down. And it's like once you make that final decision to let this go, to free yourself from feeling like you need to give them another chance or keep them in your life or whatever that might be, that is when you allow your abundance in, okay? Because it feels like in this connection, things are not going to grow. You're not going to be able to work with this person. Things are not going to grow as long as you're in this connection, as long as you keep this karmic partner in your experience, okay? For some of you, if it's someone that feels like it's your, like, you know, but we match, like, you know, we're on the same frequency. Some of you, you're only mirroring each other because they're showing you where you still need healing, okay? That's not going to be for all of you, but for those of you where that applies, where you're like, I know this person isn't meant for me, but there's a connection there. That is what it is. It's just mirroring to you where you still have some healing to do. That doesn't mean, though, just because, you know, you guys have certain things in common or there's love there, right? Obviously, that doesn't mean you're meant to stay together, though. Some of you, it's about, you know, you were only brought into each other's life to heal, to show you where you need healing, and then let them go, okay? So for some of you, that's also what I'm getting here, and that's where you're being asked to listen and pay attention, okay? So, because underneath that, we also have the Chariot, okay? With the Four of Pentacles and the Eight of Cups. Ooh, with the Six of Cups and the Three of Swords, okay? So it's like this person, for this someone, it feels like for some of you, someone from your past, it's, like I said, could be a soulmate that has hurt you before. And so it's someone that maybe, like I said, some of you are holding on to. It could be a Cancer, it could be of significance, but it's someone that you're needing to walk away from. Someone that you're needing to go ahead and just let go of. Someone you've been maybe keeping around because, or kind of like keeping the door cracked, right, with this person because they're comfortable or it's familiar, you have history, whatever that is. But ultimately, it's someone that you need to go ahead and just let go of because you're not going to get wish fulfillment by staying here, okay? Some of you already know this, you're already aware, and this is your reminder, all right? They're just mirroring back to you the little bit left that you have to, you know, release and let go of, to allow in what you really want, all right? So let's get wrap with some advice from your spirit guides. So we have Chaos and Conflict, card 33. Some of you may be 33. That may be a life path number. We also have another 3 here, okay? So 333, as well as 10, 10, 10, okay? So these numbers may be numbers that you're seeing. They may be of significance. Some of you may be seeing 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. Okay, that represents new cycles, new beginnings, fresh new starts. Okay, the 9 is a completion. The 10 is actually the new beginning. So chaos and conflict. And then we have Aries energy, card number 1, diamond. So it feels like some of you, if there's, by you letting someone go or walking away from someone, allowing yourself to really complete a cycle and dropping something once for all, may definitely create some type of conflict and chaos with someone, especially if they're used to you coming back or letting them back in or giving them another chance or whatever the fuck that is. Even if it's this, even if for some of you it's not even to do with the person. Some of you, this is just habits, right? That we're needing to drop and let go of once and for all. This is your reminder to know how brilliant you are, to know how invincible you are, to know how powerful your light is. Okay, your spiritual power is so magnetic. It's so I feel like it's of a higher caliber than some of you are even aware of. Okay, your value is so high. So it's like, I feel like some of you are really being asked that even if whatever you're trying to do differently or the changes you're trying to make creates any type of chaos and conflict in your life, understand that you have what it takes to get beyond that. Okay, you have an unconquerable force within you. You have an unconquerable light. You have invincible spiritual power that a lot of people aren't aware of, or that people may have underestimated or downplayed. And this is your opportunity to rise above, rise beyond that. Okay, and I say that too because this at the bottom of the deck, with this Leo energy hot air balloon, this is about freedom. So this is about freeing yourself. Don't resist. Okay, don't resist. Embrace the flow of life. So this is about releasing the resistance. Okay, allowing yourself to feel good, allowing yourself to see things from a different or higher perspective. Know that you're untouchable when you do that. It's like the same thing as when you have like a weight that's holding a balloon down. Once you cut that weight off, the balloon flies up immediately. It's instantaneous, right? So that's the same thing. When you allow yourself to free yourself from whatever this energy is that's holding you down or weighing you down, or whether it's guilt, shame, whatever that is for you, it's like once you release that, once you drop that weight, you immediately ascend. You immediately, your energy immediately goes up and you will feel it. Okay, this isn't something that is just like, I don't know, did I do it? You won't have to question it. You won't have to guess. You just have to listen and pay attention, to know exactly what this is talking about. And then when it happens, if you're present in the present moment and paying attention to it, you'll be able to feel the shift. You'll be able to see and feel the difference. Okay, so that's what I have for you, Aquarius. I really hope this reading was helpful, insightful. I pray that it resonated with those. I trust that it resonated with those who needed the messages. And if that is you, I'd really appreciate if you smash that thumbs up. Consider liking, subscribing, sharing, all the good stuff. And until next time, you guys, howdy.